Hi everyone, what's up? My name is Ramos and welcome to my channel. So today will be a different kind of video because I am going to do a challenge, and that challenge is the $50 meal plan. So I am so excited to do this one because first of all, I need to budget our meals, but most importantly, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to instill discipline because I've been wasting some food lately. So in order for me to make use of my resources well, I'm going to do this challenge. So the idea here is to use whatever I have at home and also to prepare for one entire week covering breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So our lunch is usually the leftover from the dinner the night before. So lunch and dinner would be the same. So I actually prepared my plan here. So these are the meal ideas that I have. And of course, this is just a guide. It will also depend on whatever they have available in store and the kind of sales they have. Now, there are several factors that I have in mind when I created this plan. So I will consider the things that I already have at home because I want to maximize my resources. I want to make sure that I use everything that I have first, so to avoid waste, and also the seasonings I have, the staple things I have, or staple goods I have. So I will not buy staple things that we have at home like seasonings, rice, because we always have rice at home, and also pasta noodles. So if you want to replicate the same plan that I have, you might go about beyond $50 if you don't have rice and pasta or noodles, something like that. But still, this will serve as a good guide for those of you who are looking to have budget meal plans. So I'm excited to do this, and I'm heading to my favorite store right now. Guess what? Of course, Aldi. So let's go. So I'm in Aldi now, and hopefully I get to accomplish my mission of $50, and I'm so excited and curious if I can make it. Let's go. So I first checked the meat section to see what's available here because everything will be based on what's in here. So these are the things that I got. I'm not sure if I exceed $50, but I feel like I do because I pick up some things that are not on my list and I had to change plans. Okay, so I actually exceeded $50 just because I had to change my plans because some of the things that I wanted to buy are not there, and also I pick up some things that are not on my list, just like this muffin. I don't recommend it because it's too sweet, and also most of the stuff I bought are organic, so I feel like if they are not organic, I would be close to $50. So I first start with preparing the chicken stock. I use the organic chicken that they have because I feel like the flavor is a lot better. So I put celery, onion, carrots, salt, whole peppercorn, and water. And also these chickens are on sale, so I took advantage of them. Most of this meal plan will be chicken because that's the usual case in this house. We mostly eat chicken. So I just divided them into different portions. Since it's Saturday, I decided to make the Arroz Caldo or lugaw. It's my favorite. It's like chicken rice porridge. So I started by browning chicken thighs and leg. And then I cut up some garlic, ginger, and onion here. So I just sauteed garlic, onion, and ginger. Oh my gosh, the smell is divine. This one is great, especially if you have cold or you're not feeling well. By the way, Aldi also sells ginger, at least in our location. Next, I put some rice. So the rice that I recommend here is something sticky, just like jasmine rice. So I put 1 or 2 cups of rice here. Yeah, 2 cups of rice. So I just mixed it in with the garlic, onion, and ginger. Mommy life, so baby is joining me here. Yes. So I kind of just mixed everything in until the rice soaks all the flavor from the ginger, onion, and garlic. Okay, so while I am mixing everything, I actually boiled water. Some people, they cook the chicken directly here, but I usually cook the chicken first because I want to brown it and also I want to remove some of the excess fat. But you wanna use chicken and legs here, just my opinion. Because I feel like chicken breast, I have tried it several times, it doesn't give much flavor and it becomes dry. So here I'm adding a little bit of boiled water, just a little bit for now, enough to prevent the rice from sticking. So I let the rice boil and I add water as I go just to prevent it from drying, and of course add salt and ground black pepper according to your taste. You can always adjust as you go. So here, as you could see, the rice soaked most of the water, so I'm adding a little bit more water. You don't want to overdo it because you will lose the flavor of everything. So just do it a little bit at a time. So just like what I'm doing here. So here it is, it's done now. So you want to have this kind of consistency. We actually ate this lunchtime, dinner, and breakfast the next day. To serve, I just sprinkle a little bit of green onion and lemon juice. It's also good if you have toasted garlic or chili paste, but I don't have right now. Next, I am preparing my salad toppings, just like sunflower seeds and cranberries, whatever you have at home. It will be easier when I make salad. Next, I also prepared some snacks that I can easily eat. And by the way, these are the things that I already have at home or I bought before, and I'm just using them now. So I have raisins, cashew nuts, and whatever I have. I actually got inspired by the Lunchables that I saw here, and I feel like I want to replicate them with the things I already have at home and some things that I bought, and they will make a great snack, especially when I'm breastfeeding baby. So I decided to pick up this Havarti cheese, and I later found out that it's actually a good cheese. So I'm just cutting it up into cubes, so it's a lot easier for me to get them when I want to eat something. I also chop up some apples. You don't want to chop a lot of apples because you know they brown, right? So I chopped apples good for just a day and put them in the same container where the cheese is. I also got some deli ham, which is $3, and I will pair it with the apple and cheese for great charcuterie snacks. I also cut it in small bite-sized pieces, so it's a lot easier for me to get them when I want to eat. So this is my version of Lunchables. And also I have these crackers which I also got from Aldi, and it's actually good. I really like them. So here it is. Every time I want some, I just get a little bit of everything and put it on a plate, and as you can see, I still have a lot of leftover, so I could easily make when I forget when I want to. Let's go back to our chicken stock. So my chicken stock or chicken broth is already cooked. So I'm going to shred the chicken into pieces so I could use them for other meals, and I'm separating the broth for other uses as well. Sometimes I drink just the broth itself. here's the chicken and the chicken broth ready when I need them. Okay, it's day 2 of our meal planning. This is actually for lunchtime now because we had the leftover arroz caldo that I cooked yesterday for breakfast. So here I chop onion, garlic, celery, and onion. And guess what I'm making? Chicken noodle soup. So I basically sauteed this in butter, and of course I added the chicken from the chicken stock that we cooked yesterday. And here, after I mixed everything, I added the chicken broth or chicken stock and egg noodles. And this is our lunch now. So day 2 for our dinner, I'm going to shred our cheese first. I like to shred my own cheese. And this tool, oh my gosh, it's a lifesaver. It makes shredding, chopping, or preparing vegetables a lot easier. Look at this cheese. I am going to use this tortilla wrapper. You could use whatever wrap you want. So we're gonna make chicken wrap for dinner and lunch tomorrow. So first, I am warming up my tortilla here, and then I prepare my toppings like cilantro, red onion, spring mix, or whatever green you want. Of course, the shredded chicken from yesterday. What else? Banana peppers, olives. What is this? Ranch dressing, mayonnaise, and of course, oh my gosh, this keeps stumbling. Mayonnaise, and of course the cheese that I have just shredded. And not to forget the tortilla wrapper. Let's assemble everything together. Start with the warm tortilla, and then I like to spread a little bit of mayonnaise. The mayo that you could see here is the Japanese type of mayonnaise, but you can certainly use any type of mayonnaise or spread that you want. You can even omit it. I am putting the chicken from the chicken broth that we made yesterday. So I'm just putting it here. And now I am layering the toppings. So I am putting in the olives. Here you could choose whatever you want. So these are the things that we really like eating. So I'm including them. The spring mix. You can use lettuce here, spinach, kale, arugula, whatever your heart desires. And I'm adding the banana peppers. Good substitute is jalapeno pepper or pepperoncini. A little bit of red onion, and of course cilantro. Now I am pouring the dressing of my choice, which is, for my husband, it's a ranch dressing, and for me it's blue cheese or sometimes Caesar dressing. And of course, let's not forget the cheese. Now the most challenging part of this is actually wrapping it. I don't know where my footage is, but it's extremely challenging. But here I'm able to wrap, I think, 6 or 8 of them and just cover them in parchment paper. For day 3, we are having, guess what, for breakfast? So we're having French toast. So I am preparing the milk and egg here, a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg. Put a little bit of butter on the pan and just cook it. So this is our breakfast, French toast. And for lunch, of course, again, the leftover chicken wrap from last night. For dinner, I am cooking chicken adobo. This is the Filipino version. I marinated it the night before in soy sauce, onion, garlic, a little bit of lemon juice, ground black pepper, and then I cook it today for our dinner, and of course leftover will be lunch tomorrow. It is best paired with rice. We're heading to day 4 and we're having chicken salad for breakfast, and for lunch, again, the leftover chicken adobo. But here for dinner, I am browning up some chicken breast. And here you could see I sauteed garlic, onion, a little bit of chicken broth from what we cooked a few days ago, a little bit of oyster sauce, soy sauce, ground black pepper, and I'm adding in my veggies just like carrots and green bell pepper. And I am adding some chopped cabbage. Actually, you could use whatever available vegetable you have. You can use green beans, broccoli, cauliflower. It's just so happened that this is what I have. And I am putting a little bit of cornstarch to thicken the sauce. Just mixed everything. So once the veggies are all cooked, I'm adding back in the chicken that we just cooked a few minutes ago. I like the chicken to be a little bit crispy. That's why I don't let it soak in the broth too much. And also I am going to separate the vegetables from the broth because I am going to do 2 dishes out of these vegetables. So here we separate the vegetables from the broth. Now that we have the broth here, I am going to put noodles. You can actually get some noodles from a regular grocery store, but I don't think they have this kind of noodles. But you can use chow mein or lo mein noodles. I think it will work well. So I'm just covering this to let the noodles wilt. It's amazing how it happens. So look at this. I'm mixing everything in. And of course, I will add half of the vegetable back. And for the final touch, I'm adding some green onions for extra flavor, and dinner is served. And of course, we have enough left over for lunch tomorrow. Again, I am reserving half of the vegetables because I am planning to pair it with another meat or poultry tomorrow for our dinner. But here is dinner for the day: pancit canton noodles. We're moving on to day 5. For breakfast, I prepared my husband chicken salad because this is his request. He loves this chicken so much. And for me, I am going to prepare yogurt parfait. So I'm basically mixing Greek yogurt, flax seed, chia seed, and a fruit of my choice. So I added apples this time. Actually, later on, I found out that the Havarti cheese that I have used from the crackers, when I added it here, it actually added extra flavors. So I suggest adding some cheese or trying some cheese next time. So this is my breakfast. Oh, I also added this granola cereal. For lunch, again, we had the leftover noodles from the night before. And for dinner, I am cooking this fried chicken. You guys, I cannot perfect fried chicken, and I can not say that this fried chicken turned out well. It doesn't have flavor, but still, it's protein, and so I paired it with the vegetable that we had last night. For day 6, we are having Italian sausage for breakfast, and of course paired with egg. I will only cook 2 sausages for breakfast because I'll be using them for dinner. So this is dinner. I browned the sausage and then I sauteed some garlic and onion. And then after that, I melted butter and mixed everything in together. By the way, our leftover fried chicken from last night is our lunch again. And here, as you could see, the chicken is already brown. So again, I mixed in the butter and I am adding this all-purpose cream. It's also available in Aldi, but if you can't find this one, you can use heavy cream. Just mix it all together, and then I am adding 1 cup of the broth from what we cooked a few days ago. Mixed everything together, sprinkle some ground black pepper and a little bit of salt. Don't put a lot of salt because I am going to use this Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. It has enough flavor and saltiness that is needed for this dish. If you don't have cheese, you can totally skip this one. And I am adding spinach to have a little bit of green in our dinner today. Cover it and let the spinach wilt, should I say. I was about to say melt. Okay, so I am separating some of the sauce so it will not dry up when I put in the pasta. So I am putting in the pasta. I cook the pasta separately. I transferred everything to a bigger pot to be able to mix them thoroughly. And here we go, dinner is served. I sprinkled some Parmesan cheese on top and some red pepper. If you want to serve it with garlic bread, it pairs well with garlic bread. I've tried it several times. When I prepare this for lunch for my husband, I always put a little bit of sauce on a small container because when you reheat it, it tends to dry up. And for day 7, I am having yogurt parfait again for breakfast and eggs for my husband. And for lunch, the leftover Italian sausage pasta from last night. And for dinner, as if I'm not yet done or satisfied with pasta, we're having another pasta dish. So here I am just infusing the garlic in olive oil, and then after the garlic infused, I remove the garlic and then put some white mushrooms and then cook the mushrooms until they're fully wilted, just like this one. This is actually a very, very easy and cheap dish. This is the star of the dish, the tuna, canned tuna. Okay, so the mushrooms are already wilted and fully cooked. Now it's time to add the tuna. So just discard the oil or water from the tuna and then add it in here. Put some Italian seasoning, ground black pepper, some salt, and then mix everything together. If you are serving it right away, you can directly put the noodles. But if you are not serving it right away, I suggest that you don't mix it right away. So like here, I only poured the sauce on top of the pasta because it's too much for us. And it's so yummy! So here's the summary of everything that I prepared this week. Hopefully you find value in this video. If you do, please comment down below so I know if I will make other kind of videos like this next time. And hopefully you found new recipes to try, and I appreciate you being here. Again, this is Kaye Ramos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much. May God bless you all. Bye. Love you.